Hello, everyone. Welcome to another weekend bonus content of Vampire Survivors Spectacular, or at least that's what I'm calling it. Let's look at unlocks. I'm started doing some of these Mount Moon spells. I realize I can't see the screen there. There we go. I was playing through the OBS thing, which I'm now surprised I can play through the OBS. I think I'm doing stuff. Involve some midnight. Oh, I need to, let's see. Wait, so do I have Kappa unlocked? No, I still need to defeat 6,000 Kappa. Okay. So that's something I still need to do. It will probably be unlocking this person. Oh, I'm just short. I'm a little skint on cash. I'm going to do the quickest of quickest money runs. Bone Zone. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I want. Well, Wicked Season will be one of the things I want. What's the one that turns? One of these turns the money bags into the Gold Rush. It might be this one. Disco of Gold. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the Trapped Orb. I know Wicked Season was one. I'm trying to remember everything that I want, because this will help. Skull Maniac would be good, and the Stone Mask. Let's see. And then there's one that changes the area, and that's actually a good one because having the area constrict helps its ability to work. Where is it? Which one is it? Amount, Divine Bloodline, enables critical hits, Lost and Found Painting, Boogaloo of Illusions, I think that's it. Yeah, Boogaloo of Illusions. That's the one I want. Let's re-roll. I want Stone Mask and Skullomaniac. It knows. It knows. Stone Mask. Come on. Stone Mask. There's Stone Mask. Kind of forgot what I wanted. Well, I mean, I knew what I wanted. I had let's see. Let's go ahead and get Empty Tome. That's why not. What else would I want? Probably Candelabra. Duplicator's tempting, but Candelabra will probably better serve me. There we go. So that way we can just go ahead and get everything that I'm going to want. We're just gonna grab the things I need. Now we're just waiting to, there we go. I really wanted to, I could go and get like the signs and the rings. It's only supposed to be a quick money run, but we're in it now. But yeah, I hope everyone this day is going well. Doing alright. It is a hot day here. Humidity is definitely up. Had some really nice thunderstorms last night. I love me some thunderstorms. Thunderstorms, for whatever reason, like kind of remind me of home and Richmond, because Richmond would get some pretty severe storms. You know, I don't know if Spellbinder helps the Sigma Blade or Victory Sword. I should probably look and see if that's worth grabbing or not for when I'm doing like a money run like this. Oh, I haven't got my fortune read by... Hold on. I'm gonna pause. Alright, I'm back. I was getting my fortune read by the amazing Lazy Tom. He's a great streamer, one of my favorites. I suggest you, if you're not already following them or subscribed to them, you should be. They are... I want my streams to be half as successful as his. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but everybody wants to have really good streams. And he doesn't have a huge stream, but he is one of my favorite streamers on Twitch. And I only followed him because I'll sometimes sit in chat, like different people's chat, and see them, you know, just look and see who's a streamer versus just someone who watches on Twitch. Because they'll show videos or recently played or something like that. And I saw he was playing SMB 3, and I was kind of into that content at the time, and he played a lot of the like ROM hacks, and it was unexpected, and so I'm like, all right, I'll give you an offline follow. And like, I just found his stream super inviting, super friendly, everyone there is nice. And I've had, you know, like, he used to stream daily, he now takes the weekends off. I think that's healthy. That's what I do with my stream, is I take the weekends off because I think the downtime's good. He didn't take vacation. I don't think I've ever seen him take a vacation. I mean, he's, you know, situations are different. I can't compare him to me. We have very different lives and different goals and things going on. So I don't mean to compare him to me, because it's just very different things. But I think it's smart to take the weekends off. All streamers, like, I know some streamers do the daily grind. I don't think it's healthy, and I think it's, again, a product of how algorithms push content on people and trying to get people's attention and stuff like that. I don't always think it's the healthiest things. you know, I'm already kind of baited by the YouTube algorithm. Like having content daily definitely helps my numbers, because before I was doing the weekend content, I would see a dip, and it definitely was like starting the week over after having a dip in random noise and views and watches and stuff like that. But adding the weekend content has helped. But you know, the weekend content isn't doing anything greater than what I would have been doing anyway. So it's easy enough, and it lets me play this because, man, when I was streaming this, the files for this were huge. For Vampire Survivors, I think, especially for upload, like I was uploading a 3 hours of Vampire Survivors because of the high bit rate. It is literally uploading like 53 gigs to YouTube. It takes forever. And I'm pretty sure YouTube is not happy about it. But I've been happy with it. I've been having a lot of fun. You know, I meant to do this to be endless. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We're just getting some money. We're gonna see how much money we can get. Just go ahead and clear him out. That's all. We'll try and get curse level up. But yeah, so don't get caught into that vicious cycle. I think more streamers, especially the big name streamers, the ones that are the daily streamers, need to make it clear, like, they're taking time off or taking the weekends off, or make it a point of, like, this is just to be a healthy work-life balance, because there are streamers who for them streaming on Twitch is their work. For me, I'm doing it for fun. Yeah, I would love to be successful. I don't have what it takes to be a successful stream. I don't know what it is. I'm just missing a certain, as the French would say, je ne sais quoi. But I like to try to just have fun in my stream, and I think this is why maybe I have a less successful stream, is I stream games I want to play. I'm not streaming just what's getting the views and getting the likes and all that. What do I want? Do I want to go ahead and get Mad Groove? I could go ahead and grab Mad Groove. That would bring the signs and the rings to me, and I can milk those. Let's go ahead and do that, because that'll also increase my curse. Hey Atlanteans, how are you? How's your day going? How's your sex life? I love the room. The room is so dumb and good all at the same time. Oh hey Mark, how's your sex life? Like, the room is like a fever dream of a movie. And that's also something that's been helpful. I was kind of talking about it yesterday, like, because I've been super productive, because now that I'm off Reddit, I really was unhappy with changes Reddit made and did to their API and third-party apps, that I'm like, you know what, like, it's such a dick move. Like, these things help build your platform, and you're just going to shut the door on them now that you think you're successful. Like, completely glossing over the fact that, like, everything on Reddit besides the structure is community driven. It's moderated by the community, the content is produced by the community. But now that I've switched to Lemmy, like, I realize how much content I was being fed on Reddit was just recycled, regurgitated, probably a repost bot, because people sell high karma accounts, so people would just make repost bots to repost stuff you've already seen, especially if it was a high, like, especially if it was like content that got a lot of karma. Those would definitely always be reposted like a year or something later. And so now that I'm on Lemmy and they don't have the same bot problem, although it's getting there, it will be. But I'm actually glad they don't have the karma system, because I think that'll prevent people from regurgitating a lot of content. It's just better. Like, I think the content is more thoughtful, it's more engaging, you know, and maybe it's a failure on my part, because I never sorted by new on Reddit, and maybe I should have, because I find myself sorting by new on Lemmy. Which also, that reminds me, I've also dropped Twitter. I still have my Twitter account, but I'm not using it. But I have been kind of engaging more with Mastodon. So I need to switch out my social media accounts to be Mastodon. And I think I gotta look. Discord. Discord's the same. I have no problem with Discord. Discord's being smart. Nitro, I think, is a great way to garner support from the community without alienating the community. You know, like, I think Reddit could have done something like a Wikipedia style drive of soliciting donations if they really want more money. But if I'm already being served ads, why do I want to donate to it? Or vice versa, they go ad free and just solicit donation, but they want to go public. They want to make a ton of money. And it's kind of already shown that, like, that's not going to work out for them. Do I want critical, or do I want a +1 amount? We're gonna go critical. It's just sad, but it's also, again, like, I now realize, like, the same thing was happening on Reddit that I was doing on Facebook before I quit Facebook. It was just this constant cycle of refreshing and looking for new content, which is why I think their algorithm is predatory, in that it does reserve old stuff, because sometimes that's new to you, especially if you didn't see it or it was posted in another subreddit you didn't subscribe to. But that's also, I think, the predatory nature is, like, I don't need everything served to me, which is why I like Lemmy. Like, I wake up, maybe spend a little bit of time on Lemmy, or on nights where I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll hang out and read some stuff on Lemmy. But it's a lot less bullshit. It's a lot less bullshit on Lemmy. And like I said, I feel like the conversations are a lot more engaging. It seems like people are, like, less dickish on Lemmy than they were on Reddit. People could be real dicks on Reddit, you know. So maybe Reddit just, like, it happened to where, like, Reddit just got too successful, and then everyone's on it, like, which is what I fear might happen with Lemmy. Other than, I do like how there's different instances, they're federated. I can, if like Lemmy starts doing things I don't like, I can just switch and go to something else. So it's nice having those options. I think this just might be a money run. I might not get to more Moonspell stuff on this today, and that's fine. We'll get back to it in the coming weeks. Yeah, I had, with Reddit, you wanted separate accounts. So like when I wanted to say what I really wanted to say, like I would use my alt account, especially if I think that what I said might not be taken correctly or get downvoted, or I don't want it associated with my profile. But now that there's not a karma system, I'm like, yeah, I'll just say what I'm thinking. Like, I may, there was like a CNN story posted, and I think people misinterpreted what I was saying, but it was about this 16-year-old who had a workplace accident and was killed on a chicken processing plant. Terrible story, I agree. People were framing it like, oh, this is a kid, he shouldn't be working in that environment, such. And this was actually took place in a place I had been to, actually, in Mississippi. And, in it I said, like, well, chances are this kid either did something he wasn't supposed to, or someone told him to do something he wasn't supposed to. And I think people interpreted that as, like, I felt like CNN was trying to maybe baby him, or like, he's a kid, he's 16, he shouldn't be working that kind of job. And I'm like, I've been there. There are not a lot of job opportunities. So working in a chicken processing plant very much is like something you would do for a summer job. Chances are, like, if it was anything, it was probably heat stroke, because those buildings aren't air conditioned. You're working in a hot, smelly environment. Not to mention whatever biological waste and salmonella and stuff like that you're exposed to. My point was, there's just not a lot of opportunities for people, and if you're going to get paid like $20 an hour as a 16-year-old for like shoveling chicken shit, that's not a bad job. And my whole point in that post that got heavily downvoted was, I was like, this CNN article was very thin on details. In fact, a person replying like gave more details on, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, see, I don't think people bother reading what I wrote, because what you posted is literally more information than the CNN article. And my point wasn't that kids shouldn't be working. I guess my point was, he's 16 and becoming an adult and probably working a summer job, then I actually feel he's fully capable and competent working. I worked at a driving range when I was that age. I was messing with machinery I shouldn't have been messing with, but it was my job. I had to fix like gas engines, stuff like that. So workplace injuries and accidents happen. They happen all the time. They happen to adults. They happen at the supermarket working a summer job. I feel like people just didn't bother fully reading what I wrote. Like, yes, I feel like this kid should have an opportunity for an easier job. But those jobs, like, and this almost is like the comment of like coastal elites. It's like, when you live, like, if you don't travel America, if you don't get outside of living on the coast and go to middle America, you don't understand how absolutely shockingly different middle America, rural America is compared to like the coast. Like, I understand the comment conservatives make about coastal elites, because it kind of is a thing. Like, people don't understand your opportunities are not the same opportunities everyone else has. You know? And like, that's all I'm going to say about that on this. Like, it's weird. I don't want to get political. I don't want to, you know, I'm the most socially progressive person you'll find. But I guess I understand a little bit. Like, if you don't go out, meet these people, talk to these people, you'll never come to an understanding. You'll never understand their position. It's why they feel unheard and stuff like that. Like, they don't have the same economic opportunities that everyone else has. You know, I have gone and stayed in rural villages in Romania where it is stepping back like 50 to 75 years into the past, because it's like a dirt road, indoor plumbing is spotty. Most people have electricity, so that's nice. But you know, these are subsistence farmers, and the only other job is logging. And everyone, all the males in the town are missing a finger because they've lost it in an accident logging, you know? But these are some of the like nicest, most caring and giving people I've ever met, because they don't have a lot, so they have to share, you know? And I guess I really don't know where I'm going with that, other than like, I think we're too isolated in certain communities, and there's a lack of dialogue or understanding or reasonable or calm conversations that happen. Too many people, everyone thinks they're right, and no one wants to hear that they're wrong or admit that they might be wrong. And I think that's a big part of why it's difficult to have these conversations, because no one wants to admit that they're wrong, or maybe they're not 100% right. So I guess my whole point is, like, have empathy, have consideration for your fellow man. Like, you know, conservative, progressive, everyone thinks what they're trying to do is the right thing to do. And a big part of like American politics is built on compromise, and I think people have forgotten, like, to the point where even compromise seems blasphemous. And it's like, no, the whole point is to try to meet a middle ground where no one's quite happy, but you're getting a little bit of what you want on both sides. I could talk about the two-party system. I'm not a fan, but I'm also like really progressive in my politics, and I know, like, I'm the kind of person that looks at liberals and like, you're still too conservative for my liking. Like, that's how progressive I am. But I also have empathy and understanding, and will take the time to listen to someone and understand their position, understand what it is that they're saying, and just try to come at a common ground. Like, if there's one thing, like I mean this not as a bad term. I'm using redneck. If there's one thing rednecks and like hippies can agree on, fucking pot. Who doesn't like pot? And it's like, you can't get pot, like, federal pot legislation happen, even though it's widely popular across the board. Conservative, progressive, Democrat, people like pot. It's a distraction. It's like the thing, if anything, the government should legalize, so people can be distracted by being fucking stone in their life when things turn to shit. You know, that's the main reason for it. So it's an uncaring government. The American government system really is broken. I'm not here to get preachy or political. I think it works for an elite few, and I would hope for a government that works more for the people. You know, it should work more for the people. You know, I had a conversation with my husband this morning talking about Mitch McConnell and Feinstein. Like, Mitch McConnell, I guess, had a stroke or a seizure or something on a podium where he's just standing there for 20 or 30 minutes. Feinstein was gone for 6 months and now is being wheeled around the halls of the Senate in a wheelchair. And I'm like, you know, he's like, I'm like, these people have made millions, and why do they stay there? Why haven't they retired? They have millions. They don't want to enjoy a peaceful, relaxing retirement. And my husband said, like, oh, well, maybe it's a sense of duty. And I'm like, no, it's not a sense of duty. If it was a sense of duty, then legislation would get passed that helped people. The only legislation I see getting passed helps corporations, rich people, tax breaks. Like, I'll never own a yacht, so I don't need a tax break for my yacht. But you know what? There's a tax break in the tax code for owning a yacht. So it's, and I told him it's about power. People don't want to give up power. There's like a whole generation that thinks the younger generation can't lead. Or maybe they're afraid that we might do things legislative that is unpopular for their generation. And I think that's a big part of it. I think we have to, as a younger generation, wrestle that control away from them. They're too old. They are using ideas and theory, political theory from like 30, 40 years ago, thinking the world hasn't changed when the world has drastically changed. The world is a drastically different place than it was 30 or 40 years ago, and we need to make changes. We need to do some things. Like, I've been really like harping on the environment lately because, you know, I was watching, I think, CNN, and they had a person on it, and he said, this will be the coolest summer for the rest of your life. And that's a scary fact. The world is only getting hotter. We should have been shifting away from from fossil fuels 30, 40 years ago. But again, it's like what I was saying, like this baked in ideology of only using oil. Like, I'm not king, I'm not a leader. If I had my way, gasoline would be outlawed tomorrow. Figure it out. Use EVs if you want. Use public transportation. Build cities that are bicycle and pedestrian friendly again. But we cannot, as a species, keep pumping greenhouse gases into the air. We need to preserve more forests. I think we're going to see huge algae blooms in the ocean. You know, things are fucked. Things are going to get bad, and it's sad. It's sad and terrible. Our world is dying. No, and so people kind of. Oh, this should be a candy box. People have said this before. Like, the world will still be here. The world has been hotter in the past. But you know what wasn't there in the past? Humans. And humans, we need it cool, we like it comfortable, and we need to grow crops for our species. Candy box. Let's see what I'm getting. I haven't thought about candy box. What would synergize nice with this? Maybe I get Greatest Jubilee for the fun of it, or Flames of Misspell. Maybe I do that, because that's a new one and I don't get to use it. Yeah, we're doing that. I'm a fire bitch. And I don't want to like sound preachy. It's just I have nieces and nephews, and I understand we're just not good stewards of this earth. Like, we are terrible to it. We are destroying this earth as fast as we can. And like I said, I think I was saying earlier, like, it's whether we can have a life that's sustainable for us. You know, like there's talk of terraforming the Earth or terraforming Mars, and it's like, well, why don't, like, a simple way to fix, wow, holy shit. I just gained massive amounts of levels there. Like, if we want to, why terraform Mars when, like, we should be focused on taking care of things here? You know, like, we should tackle global warming before we tackle anything else. Before we try to make another planet livable. Like, it boggles my mind that people think the solution to global warming will be living on another planet. But if we have figured out the technology for terraforming a planet, like, well, why not just make the Earth livable for everyone again? You know, like, there'll be something like, oh, let's build something to block the sun to keep things cool, and it's like, well, why not just use less fossil fuels? You know, why not just try to cut our CO2 and dependency on fossil fuels and gas? You know, like, that's a simple step with a low barrier to entry that we could easily do and explore, and, like, we refuse to do it. This should be another candy box. Anyway, I feel like I'm being preachy, or I'm on a soapbox. I'm really trying not to be. It's just kind of the reality of the situation, and I think that's it. It's the reality of the situation, and that's the sad thing. Like, it is bad. Oh, I don't get the... Okay, well, what do I want? Unholy Vespers? That's not bad. Vanland Marasma? Maybe I'd do that. Get the two swords kind of thing going, because that's always fun. Luminaire. Perugi. I'm probably mispronouncing it. We're gonna go with this, just since we got, like, a sword theme happening. You know, who doesn't want more swords? Oof. Yeah, I'll be good on money for a while here. Can I close this out with $1 million? That would be awesome. I haven't had $1 million run yet. Alright, looking for... There we go. So I'm tired of talking about this. You know, like, I'm not oblivious to the fact that, like, I fly on planes, and that is a horrible contributor to CO2. Like, I'm mad at Brian because I want to plant trees in our yard. He cut down like these big, beautiful old walnut trees, and because someone told him like, oh, it's gonna damage your foundation. I'm like, no, it's not. If your foundation was damaged, you would see evidence of it, and it's a shame because it was this view, like, it would have provided great shade to the entire yard. And now we don't have any trees. We don't have fruit trees in our yard. We don't have anything for shade. And I would have really loved to have had something to just provide shade in the yard. I'm trying to convince him to let me plant a couple of fruit trees. Because where we live, there's a, like, not a history, but what's the best way to describe it? There is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh wow, I'm actually holding off death. A tradition. Yeah, that's it. A tradition of fruit trees. And so I want that tradition to stay alive, you know? We're gonna revive, only because I can kind of hold my own against this death. I wanted to see, well, I'm not gonna gain any more levels here. So, we'll go ahead and quit. Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, in my head I wanted to gain levels, but I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna gain any levels here. That was a good run. We made a ton of money. Look at that. You can't even see the, like, the things overlapping. So that was really good. And that was all just so I can unlock this person. Let's see. I have $800,000, and this costs $25,000. I think I can afford it. There we go. If you watched this far, please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Brush your teeth. Walk somewhere instead of drive, maybe once a week or something like that. Little things. Let's just start off small. Wherever you are politically, I still love you. We might not agree. We won't see eye to eye on everything, but I guarantee you, if I said something to upset you, let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm not attacking anyone. I want there to be a dialogue. Anyway, have a good night, have a good evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.